Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Fire and Flower and High Tide. They could be huge buying opportunities for some kind of positive legalization news. As you can see from the stock charts, the stock used to be $111.01. I think they did a reverse split because they were trying to list on the the Nasdaq, but they never managed to because their stock is still traded on the OTC. If you look, Fire, Fire and Flower is and oh man, I can't find it. But just trust me, they're listed on the OTC at the moment. Oh, right here, OTC FFLWF. So they're not listed on the Nasdaq. They wanted to list on the Nasdaq. They never managed to, which is kind of a shame because they're losing out on potential huge amount of retail investors. But again, they're not really impressive. I feel like Fire and Flower is going to be pushing out profitability. The market cap is really, really bad right now. I mean, it's really, really cheap right now. I mean, $45 million. That's huge. That's like cheap, right? Like considering the fact that Circle K put $100 million into the company and only worth 45 million. I think overall the company probably raised over like I would have to guess. I don't know. I don't quote me on this because I don't have the actual numbers on me. But I'm thinking like more than $150 million since the company like inception, I guess. Ever since they started trading on the public markets, they probably raised over $100 million, $150 million. Circle K gave them like over $100 million, like $100 million, and the market cap is currently sitting at $45 million. So yeah, I'm not as impressed, but they are supposed to be pushing out cash flow positive in the back half of 2023. So, and the company, the CEO is hoping that the stock's going to get rewarded when they are cash flow positive. So we'll see. Only time will tell if that will happen or not. Personally, I'm not as impressed with the current earnings report because, as you can see, the revenues decrease. They are having another earnings report coming up here on March 28th. So I'm not as impressed with the earnings report because, as you can see, their revenues decrease year over year. Quarter over quarter has increased. The gross profit also has been decreasing year over year, but quarter over quarter has been increasing. So hopefully it continues on the right path forward. But we'll see. I mean, business is hard. They're not growing as from if you look year over year. But High Tide is $114 million right now in market cap. Their revenue for one quarter is higher than the current market cap, and they are profitable. Adjusted EBITDA profitable. What is adjusted EBITDA? Basically, it's a way for like a tax write off because like there's like they have like buildings and they have property, and the property decreases in value every single quarter, and they use that to write off for tax purposes. So that's why they say adjusted EBITDA positive. And then free cash flow positive is only negative 2.3 million. They are expecting free cash flow positive. Company also expects year over year increase in free cash flow positive, and they will be cash flow positive soon. like at least according to the CEO, set objective to become free cash flow positive within this calendar year. So sometime this year they will be cash flow positive. At least that's their goal. And hopefully once they become cash flow positive, they will stay cash flow positive. I mean, the company could be cash flow positive right now if they just stop growing. If they stop growing their stores, they will be cash flow positive. But every quarter that goes by, they are growing their customer base. They're growing their stores. They currently have over almost $1 million. I'm sorry, 1 million club members. And what I'm really impressed is they are growing the premium club members according to this press release. Elite members, 10,000, and every single elite member is like a free cash flow, right? Like it's free money. It's like Costco, Costco is charging for the elite members. They can't charge as much as Costco, so I'm thinking maybe like $5 a month, $2 a month, $3 a month. I don't know. I haven't been to a Canada Banner store in such a long time, and I don't know how much they're charging for the elite members. I could do more research into it. Kind of lazy too. Maybe I'll go to one of the stores one day and just check out how much an elite member is. For now, I'm just too lazy. But if you want me to do it, comment down below. Let me know if you actually watched this far into the video. 6 minutes and 53 seconds. Wow. I could probably make like an 8-minute video out of this, but market cap is dirt cheap right now. I remember buying the stock when it was around here. The stock exploded, and then I sold and took profit, and people called me an idiot. They're like, you should hold on for the long term. And I didn't, because and people got mad at me, and now the stock is back to all-time lows, and the company has significantly grown since 2020, since I bought it. So could be a buying opportunity. Some kind of big legalization news like Germany or US, stock explodes again, make a huge return on investment. And I say in the next 5 years, their revenue could be $200 million, or maybe even less than that. Maybe in like the next 5 years, unless like 2-3 years, could be $200 million, and that could be a run rate of $800 million. The company expects a run rate this year of $500 million in revenue. So that's like $120 million per quarter. 120 times 4. Nope, that would be $125 million of revenue. So that's pretty good. Half a billion dollars of revenue, free cash flow positive, EBITDA positive for sure. They're still growing their stores every single month that goes by. There's not very little to hate about High Tide. They also have huge exposure to the U.S. They're selling MJ seeds in the U.S. right now, and that's not too far away from selling actual MJ products. So if U.S. went legal, their revenue would skyrocket, because they would be selling MJ products, and the company is open to being vertically integrated if they are allowed to. Because right now they have a big presence in Ontario, and Ontario does not allow MJ companies like, you know, Tilray or Aurora to own stores and also be growing their own products. So that's why High Tide is kind of staying away from buying up like an MJ grower, so they can be vertically integrated and increase their gross margins. So they're staying away from that. But one day in the future they could, or they could do it if the U.S. legalization happens and start growing in the U.S. and opening up stores. Because they, according to the CEO, they are talking to people about acquiring companies in the U.S., like retail operators in the U.S., so they can start growing their retail operations in the U.S. Like they plan to have a footprint in the U.S. through organically growing the retail stores, and that would be huge for High Tide if that was to happen. Especially if they can organically grow their stores and they are actually cash flow positive. U.S. legalization would be huge for High Tide, and would be huge for their stock price. So maybe in the next 4 or 5 years we could see legalization in the United States, and High Tide stock would be trading way above what it is right now at $1.53. So Canadian and US side's even cheaper, right? And it's traded on the Nasdaq too, because they managed to get on the Nasdaq, and right now it's $1.11. The only risk I can see from High Tide stock is market crash, and we could see it go even lower. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.